Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories coming up on today's show. Events such as this high school track meet will no longer have to rely on ideal weather conditions, as a new all-weather track is in the plans for Swift Current. Since mid-December, the Idle No More movement has been making headlines across the country, with ongoing discussions surrounding Bill C-45, the environment, and Indigenous rights. Telemiracle 37 is set for March 2nd and 3rd, and a number of unique fundraisers are taking place across the province, including the Ugly Car promotion. Thanks for joining us here today. A new all-weather track is on the horizon, following a partnership between the Chinook School Division and the city. Events such as this high school track meet will no longer have to rely on ideal weather conditions, as a new all-weather track is in the plans for Swift Current. Swift Current City Council approved the allotment of $1 million from the 2013 budget for a new all-weather 8-lane track during the February 19th meeting in Chambers. The project will be co-funded between the city and the Chinook School Division, with the division agreeing to pay approximately $650,000 for its share of the project. An overall financial commitment for the city, which has raised concerns by Councillor Ron Tolles.
Right, I'm not opposed to the all-weather track. I'm opposed to the way it was being financed and being funded, and it just seems to me like we're spending more than our share based on what we'll get back in return. If we get 50% use of the track, then I'm more in favor of it. But I know that, that the schools are going to be using it more. I question whether the school will be open in the evening for us to use as dressing rooms and you know, as seniors, you know, being able to go into school on a Sunday to use that. I don't know that. If that happens, then I'm more in favor of it.
Meanwhile, the city's Director of Recreation and Parks stresses the new all-weather track will benefit all residents, along with the Chinook School Division students. And thanks to the cooperation of the school division, the project has become a reality, which could enable the city in hosting future large-scale events.
It's just really a no-brainer that the location at the comp is best for everyone involved. I mean, we have the people that do the coaching there from your high-performance athletes, but as well the location to use it for just general type health and wellness activities fits greatly with our plans. If we get into the next steps or into bigger events, such as was mentioned tonight by Councillor Bowditch in regards to summer games, there is a potential that it could be used and would help us with our bid.
And as far as a timeline on the project, work is set to begin this spring with the hope of a fall completion. The new 8-lane all-weather track will be located at the Swift Current Comp High School and replace the current 6-lane shale dirt track.
Trust the team at Pinnacle Financial to help you reach your financial goals. Whether you require personal or corporate income tax planning, bookkeeping, management consulting, or full-service mortgage brokering, our expert team has you covered. Contact us today to begin your climb to the top.
The Idle No More movement has been in the spotlight for the past several months and recently made a stop in Swift Current. Since mid-December, the Idle No More movement has been making headlines across the country, with ongoing discussions surrounding Bill C-45, the environment, and Indigenous rights. Sheila McLean from Saskatoon is one of the co-founders of the Idle No More movement and addresses local crowds such as this one in Swift Current through discussion and slide presentations on colonization and racism in society.
There's a really powerful story out there that Canada has always been a democratic country, that there's always been equality, and that there is no racism here in Canada. And of course, that is a myth. That's not been the case at all. If we look at our history and the actual history of Canada, we can see that there has been ongoing colonization and ongoing racism, and that some groups like settler groups, have been allowed to have policies and practices that have given them a lot of freedoms. But there are other groups that have had nothing but oppressive policies, and this is of course Indigenous people that have had a history of colonization and very oppressive policies and practices, and also settlers of color. There is a history of racism against settlers of color as well. And so that's a history that we need to be talking about, and what's so important about Idle No More is actually starting those conversations and bringing that consciousness to Canadians so that they question the idea of, when we talk about freedom, it's freedom for who?
Deonta Tusis is a Saskatoon teacher and a supporter of the Idle No More cause, and states that all people in general should be concerned for the environment. And since all humankind relies on sustenance from Mother Earth, all are Indigenous people, no matter their cultural background. And as he travels from community to community on behalf of Idle No More, he hopes audiences will become more informed of the message behind the movement while embracing cultural diversity.
This is something that we're not trying to take people's jobs away. We're not trying to really harm industry. What we are trying to say is that Canadians should have the right to free, prior, informed consent. If we're going to take this great big chunk of land the size of England and do something horrendous to it that we can't repair, I think Canada should have a choice and they should have a say in that, don't you?
More details on the Idle No More movement along with its schedule of public events can all be found online.
Our company helps tell your story and provides you with a solution on how to market your business. Because making a great video is only half the equation. You have to know how to use it.
We have done a major.
Kinsmen Telemiracle is just around the corner, and the annual Ugly Car promotion is once again hitting the streets of Swift Current.
Telemiracle 37 is fast approaching, and with that comes the return of the Kinsmen Ugly Car. Scott Lamb and his team of fundraising volunteers have been busy lugging the Kinsmen Ugly Car around Swift Current, surprising residents with the broke-down Pontiac Sunbird, in order to help raise funds for the event on March 2nd and 3rd. Lamb stopped by the Southwest TV News studio to explain how the fundraiser works.
The idea behind it is we go to people's houses and businesses and trying to unwillingly give them a car that they definitely don't want. And the idea behind it is then they pass it on, or they make a donation to Telemiracle and the Kinsmen, and they can move it on and send it to someone else that they know or a business, and that's how we keep moving it.
Lamb and his team have set a goal to reach $10,000 and are well on their way to achieving it. They have a certain fundraising strategy in place, but mentioned that it does change slightly from location to location.
We always have a certain business or two that we start at that are friends, and we know they always send it someplace real fun. So we've never been sent to a bank yet, so hint, hint, maybe someone should give us a call and we should send it to a bank.
After Southwest TV News made a contribution to the worthy cause, we sent the Kinsmen Ugly Car to our friends at Pinnacle Financial, where Tyler Bragg and staff kept the tradition rolling, making a donation to Telemiracle 37 and sending the broke-down Sunbird to surprise another local business. Be on the lookout for the Ugly Car to reach your front lawn, and be sure to help support the Kinsmen Club and this year's Telemiracle. For Southwest TV News, I'm Scott Armstrong.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.